Thank you so much for checking out this free video. If you don't mind, please click like and subscribe.
The Netflix alleged deal is facing a roadblock, and that roadblock is Paramount. There are many roadblocks.
There's many roadblocks in this story.
The new one today is Paramount attempting a hostile bidding takeover here.
Well, it's not so much. It's basically they upped their offer to $108.4 billion in cash, which would be a lot of it would be financed. I think what is it, like 54 million. I think billion. It's like I think of like this stuff as millions, and it's like 108 billion. But I mean, it is a lot of stuff. And they would be buying. They would also be buying the TV end, like TNT, TBS, CNN, True TV, Discovery, all those channels. I think to a degree, one of the big reasons they would be buying that is to get control of CNN. So, everyone's courting Trump, and then there's Trump has kind of talked about like he doesn't really want either of them to get him because it's kind of like a monopoly. It's going to cost people jobs. It can be a monopoly in different ways. In the sense of a lot of people losing jobs, but one of the two is going to end up getting him either way. But right now, David Zaslav was talking like that. Well, we're interested in the offer because it's the Netflix offer was $82.7 billion, of which about 70 billion would have been cash, and the rest would have been Netflix stock. So this one is all cash, but it's between debt financing. David Ellison's father, Larry Ellison, is putting up something like in the range of like 11 billion, which he can certainly afford, being one of the richest men in the world. And the governments of Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and Abu Dhabi are putting up something like
24 billion.
24 billion. China's putting up $1 billion. So the money's coming. Jared Kushner, who's one of the companies that he's in charge of, is putting up money, which they thought, is probably going to help Trump, approve it. But it may not, because today, because of last night, Trump's not really that hot on Paramount, because last night on 60 Minutes, they did an interview with Marjorie Taylor Greene, who Trump, obviously wants out of the world. And so now he's mad at them. He could get over it. Who the hell knows? This whole story is a complete comedy in many, many ways, because of everyone's courting Trump. Ted Sarandos, went to court Trump about the merger, thought that everything was cool. Then Trump said they thought it was, it could be a monopoly. And so it's not a done deal. If WBD pulls out of this deal with Netflix, they would have to pay Netflix $2.8 billion. But if it goes to the regulatory boards and they don't approve it, Netflix has to pay WBD
$5.8 billion.
$5.8 billion, right? So it's gonna who the hell knows what's gonna happen? I mean, it's whatever happens is going to be significant to AEW in some form, but we don't know what, and we don't know when. I mean, it's just business as usual. I mean, it's like everything. It's like there's a lot of things that are going to happen. We don't know exactly what they are yet, but be on the lookout, because somehow or other, a lot of things are going to happen. And control of CNN is important to Paramount. It's not important at all to Netflix. Control of Warner Brothers Studios is very important to Netflix. Paramount has, it's obviously going to be important to Paramount too, but not as. David Ellison wants it real, real bad. I'm not sure why he didn't make this bid before. And there was indication that if this wasn't enough, that they would be willing to go higher. So for the shareholders, I think Paramount might get it unless Netflix comes back with an even higher bid. So we'll have to see.
Netflix also sent out that email saying if you're worried about what's going to happen, don't worry. These companies will remain separate.
They will for a little while.
I've heard that before.
So have I.
Many times.
Many times. Yeah.
Never ends up like that.
Yeah, well, it's funny. In the long run, it could go either way. It depends on... Because the HBO name is pretty strong, but at the same time, it's kind of like... Why do you need two... If you're running the big company, why do you need two different streaming services that are both essentially entertainment services? Wouldn't you just want everything on whichever one is the more popular service? I mean, that just kind of makes sense. But they can't say that. Because if they say that, they're not getting the company. In the long run, the one thing that would be a negative to AEW is if Netflix gets it, and then Netflix merges those two companies, those two streaming services, because I don't see Netflix wanting AEW on Netflix. I mean, it could happen, but I don't see it. For just a lot of different reasons. But,
But based on the email, the reality is, if this happens, they're not going to remain separate companies forever. But they probably, I would think, would remain separate companies probably through the end of 2027. So I would think that imminently, I don't think there's anything that's going to change whatsoever with AEW.
No. The big thing with AEW is going to be this summer. This coming summer, when it comes to where AEW winds up, if Paramount doesn't buy the company and it does go to Netflix, what's going to happen this summer, probably before this deal ends up going through, is that there will be a split between the split companies, and AEW will remain on TBS and TNT. And that's
WBD is what Dave's talking about. The WBD is splitting. Yes. Into two companies, one on the television end and one on the streaming end.
Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and click that notify button, and you'll never miss a video again.